Yeah, really just a couple of quick updates, small changes to existing products, and the usual portal update. There's always something happening on the portal. So this one is mainly related, actually got initially triggered by some of the Cloud Connect products, but there was also clearly a use case that we had demand from members for people who want to use private VLAN. So this is allowing for QinQ support, which is not really a requirement for certain of the cloud providers. Well, you can do it without, which is how we did the first ones, but for some of them it's easier if we can support QinQ. So that is now available both on private VLAN and also where needed for the Cloud Connect. It does require in our current setup, you need to do it on a dedicated port, so you can't combine it with a peering service or whatever. Simply, since we still want to give you at least the 1500 MTU, as it's QinQ, we have an additional header, so we need to increase the MTU. So at the moment, it's limited on having it on a separate port if you want to use QinQ services, QinQ-based services. But there use case for it, there's demand from certain members for it, and it is available now for those who need it as an option. Just a quick update where we are with the marketplace. We officially, it officially went live just after the last LINX meeting in the end of May, so it went live the first weeks in June. With 15 participants which actually have signed up since then, which is, we're quite happy with the take-up we have seen there, and especially it's a good mix of members who want to offer their service across the LAN and or existing partners. So it's a good combination of people. That's the one, and we will continue to add people, and but we're quite happy where we are so far. What we're doing now is really, well, where do we take it from here? I think we're collecting quite a lot of feedback, comments from people who use it, from members who want to use it, on where we want to go with the long-term clear goal is really to integrate it much more into our backend systems, look into, well, can we end-to-end deliver services? That obviously depends on if the partner or the member, if they want to do that, and how does the commercial models look like. But those are all the things that we're currently going through. But it's out there. Have a look if you haven't had a look at it yet. Go and have a look at it and let us know what you think. Portal update. Yeah, I think this becomes a regular one, which is good, as we keep on adding functionality to the portal and keep on updating the functions which are there. As you might know, we work in agile program increments, which basically are 5 sprints of 2 weeks, so kind of quarterly. In this current one, a lot of the focus was on improvements on the events area, which you probably have seen when you signed up for this meeting. And a lot of the other work is around the order forms, the order processes, and actually order management within the portal. Initially, a lot of that work wasn't as visible to the portal, but a lot of the back-end work was completed earlier in the year, and we started with having first services, which are really full self-service. Initially, mainly focused around connections partners who can order a service for one of their customers, for one of the members, through the portal, and they will get straight away fully provisioned from end to end, as it's just a logical service. And that's really where we continue to put a lot of work into. The MAC address change in the end uses the same underlying functionality through the portal. Not everybody, we know that there's always going to be a number of orders which will still require engineers to get involved. Whenever you order a new port, it's never going to be fully end-to-end provisioned. And most people still place their order by just going through the UI on the web and placing it there. And I picked just one of the improvements which got completed a couple of weeks, couple of months ago, and is continuing to be worked on. But I thought it would be useful to show you in the direction that we go. It would be nice to do a real online demo. I didn't want to risk that, so let's do it in PowerPoint. So there's really two examples of if you want to place an order, which could either be you want to modify one of your existing services, or you want to order a new port or a completely new service. So if you have an existing service and you either want to upgrade it or downgrade it, the way that it works, you hopefully have all seen this view. These are LINX internal services. And at the side of it, you will always have an edit service. Now these examples, most of these are actually port groups, bundled groups, which you see by the plus in front of it. I picked this one as an example, which is currently a 4x10 gig port, 4x10 gig service, with, in that case, a 40 gig. Actually, it's a 4x, is it a 4x, it's a 4x100, doesn't matter. With a 400 gig peering service onto it. And if you click on edit that service, in this case, it gets you to this order form which you had in the past, but it also now shows you for these services straight away, well, this is what you're actually currently being charged for that service. And as you modify your service, it will tell you the impact that this will have, and this actually is probably an interesting example, since clearly I don't think anybody would really have 4 times 100 gig. If he looks at our pricing, he should probably order a 400 gig port instead of having 4 times 100, which is, if we change that, it would tell you straight away, actually, if you do this, your invoice per month would actually pretty much half if you would do it. But the same works if you have a 1x10 and you add a second one, it will tell you straight away what the pricing changes is.
It's a good sales pitch. Just FYI, if you're a student.
If you have a 4x100 gig, maybe just order 400 gig. There's similar numbers if you have multiple 10 gigs. Just go and have a look. You can actually straight away. And as you have seen, you don't really have to place the order. You don't have to fear just clicking on the edit service. It will just tell you. And maybe if you have a 2x10 gig going to a 30 gig of 100 gig, might actually be efficient. And the same if you do, if you want to place an order for a new service, the exact same approach. You have the same form. As you choose your port speed, it will tell you, well, it's £80 for the port access. You choose your peering speed, in this case, 5 gig, it will tell you straight away the price. So there's no guesswork. You don't have to necessarily even come to us and ask us if it's not clear. You will see it straight away. So currently that works for ports and peering services, and over the coming weeks the same will get added for all of the other private VLANs, closed user group, all of the add-on services, the same functionality will be added. Oops. Yes, so as I said, so this same pricing functionality is going to come. There's a whole roadmap of additional functionality that's going to come over the coming months and into 2023. And as always, let us know if you find something that's broken or if you think something we can do differently. This one, just a very quick one, LINX API, which we probably don't talk enough about, since especially in the early versions, really, it's mainly of interest for partners, for connections partners who are placing orders on a regular basis, using the API to do this. LINX, like most of the others, we started with implementing the version 1 specification. In the beginning of the year, we completed the implementation of version 2. Still, even version 2, the focus is really on connections partners. A normal member probably doesn't get too much benefit out of it. But in parallel, we continue to work with AMSIX, DKIX, the other partners in the project, and really the focus for version 3 or version 2.3, whatever the name is going to be, is really going to be probably much more interesting for the majority of members. So the focus on how can we make your port statistics and your data about your services available through the API so you can integrate them into your own systems. That's really where the focus is. Specification of that is currently being worked on, and then the implementation will follow, hopefully in 2023.